Imagine this. You wake up one morning, the sunlight streaming through your window, the world outside buzzing with its usual rhythm, but something feels off. You can't quite put your finger on it. It's not the kind of unease that comes from a bad dream or a looming deadline. No, this is deeper, quieter, almost imperceptible. It's as if the world you see, the one you've always trusted to be real, is suddenly a thin veil, hiding something vast and incomprehensible beneath. You go about your day, but the feeling lingers. You notice how your thoughts seem to loop in familiar patterns, how your reactions to people and situations feel almost scripted, as if you're following a hidden blueprint. You catch yourself wondering, is this really me? Or am I just a puppet, dancing to the tune of something I can't see? This is the paradox of the subconscious mind. It's the silent architect of your reality, shaping your thoughts, emotions, and actions without your conscious awareness. It's the reason you feel drawn to certain people, repelled by others, and inexplicably stuck in habits you know don't serve you. It's the force behind your deepest fears, your wildest dreams, and the nagging sense that there's more to life than what you're currently experiencing. But here's the unsettling truth. You are not who you think you are. The person you believe yourself to be, the one making decisions, setting goals, and navigating life, is just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface lies a vast, uncharted territory, teeming with forgotten memories, buried traumas, and primal instincts. This is your subconscious mind, and it wields a power so profound that it can shape your reality without you even realizing it. Consider this: how many of your choices are truly your own? When you decide to pursue a career, fall in love, or even react to a stranger's comment, how much of that decision is influenced by conscious thought, and how much is driven by forces you can't see? What if the life you're living is not the result of deliberate intention, but the product of hidden programs running in the background of your mind? Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." This is the great question we must confront. Are we the authors of our own lives, or are we merely characters in a story written by our subconscious? Think about the last time you felt stuck, trapped in a job, a relationship, or a pattern of behavior you couldn't seem to break. You knew what you needed to do, but something held you back. Was it laziness? Fear? Or was it something deeper, something you couldn't quite name? What if that something was a subconscious belief, planted long ago, that you're not worthy of success, love, or freedom? And what about the world around you? The society we live in, with its endless distractions, consumerism, and superficial values, how much of that is shaped by the collective subconscious? Are we all just sleepwalking through life, driven by hidden fears and desires we refuse to acknowledge? These questions are not meant to scare you, but to awaken you, because the first step toward reclaiming your reality is to recognize the power of the subconscious mind. It's the force that shapes your perceptions, your beliefs, and ultimately your destiny. But here's the catch. You can't fight what you can't see, and until you shine a light on the hidden corners of your mind, you will remain a prisoner of your own subconscious. So, let's begin this journey, not as passive observers, but as explorers of the inner world. Let's peel back the layers of your mind, confront the shadows that lurk beneath, and uncover the truth about who you really are. Because the moment you understand how your subconscious shapes your reality is the moment you take the first step toward freedom. But be warned, this is not a journey for the faint of heart. It will require courage, honesty, and a willingness to face the parts of yourself you've spent a lifetime avoiding. Are you ready to see what lies beneath the surface? To understand the power of the subconscious, we must first confront a disturbing truth. Much of what we consider reality is not an objective truth, but a subjective construct, a story woven together by our minds. This story is shaped by a complex interplay of memories, beliefs, and emotions, most of which operate beneath the surface of our awareness. And yet, we cling to this story as if it were the ultimate truth, unaware of how deeply it influences every aspect of our lives. Why does this happen? Why are we so blind to the forces that shape us? The answer lies in the very nature of the subconscious mind. It is not a passive repository of forgotten memories. It is an active, dynamic force that constantly interprets, filters, and shapes our experience of the world. It is the lens through which we see reality, and like any lens, it distorts as much as it reveals. Carl Jung described the subconscious as a shadow self, a repository of all the parts of ourselves we've rejected, repressed, or ignored. These shadows are not just personal. They are collective, shaped by the culture, society, and even the historical era in which we live. They are the hidden scripts that dictate our behavior, the invisible chains that bind us to patterns of thought and action we can't seem to break. But where do these scripts come from? Why do we carry them in the first place? To answer this, we must delve into the psychological and philosophical roots of the subconscious. From a psychological perspective, the subconscious is shaped by early experiences, particularly those that occur during childhood. This is when the mind is most impressionable, absorbing information from the environment like a sponge. Every interaction, every word, every emotional exchange leaves an imprint, forming the foundation of our beliefs about ourselves and the world. For example, a child who grows up in a household where love is conditional, where approval is granted only for certain behaviors, may internalize the belief that they must earn love through achievement. This belief, buried deep in the subconscious, can drive them to pursue success at all costs, even at the expense of their own well-being. They may not even realize why they feel so driven. They only know that something inside them refuses to let them rest. But the subconscious is not just shaped by personal experiences. It is also influenced by collective forces. Friedrich Nietzsche famously warned of the herd mentality, the tendency of individuals to conform to the values and beliefs of the group, often at the expense of their own individuality. This is not just a social phenomenon, it is a psychological one. The subconscious mind, in its quest for safety and belonging, absorbs the norms and expectations of the culture, often without question. Think about the messages you've absorbed from society. The emphasis on productivity, the glorification of material wealth, the pressure to conform to certain standards of beauty or success. These messages are not just external. They become internalized, shaping your beliefs about what it means to be happy, successful, or worthy. And because they operate at the subconscious level, they are incredibly difficult to challenge. Arthur Schopenhauer took this idea even further, arguing that the subconscious is driven by a primal force he called the will to live. This will, according to Schopenhauer, is the source of all human desire and suffering. It is the force that compels us to seek pleasure, avoid pain, and strive for survival, often at the expense of our own happiness. But here's the twist. The will to live is not just a biological instinct. It is also a psychological one. It manifests in our subconscious as a relentless drive to fulfill unmet needs. For love, security, recognition, or meaning. And because these needs are often rooted in early experiences, they can become distorted, leading us to pursue goals that don't truly fulfill us. For example, someone who grew up feeling unseen or unheard may develop a subconscious need for validation. This need can drive them to seek attention in unhealthy ways, through people-pleasing, perfectionism, or even self-sabotage. They may not even realize what they're doing. They only know that something inside them feels empty, no matter how much external success they achieve. This is the hidden problem. The subconscious mind, shaped by both personal and collective forces, creates a distorted lens through which we see reality. It filters our perceptions, colors our emotions, and dictates our behavior, often in ways that are counterproductive or even self-destructive. And because it operates beneath the surface of our awareness, we are largely powerless to change it, unless we bring it into the light. But how do we do that? How do we uncover the hidden scripts that shape our lives? The answer lies in understanding the mechanisms of the subconscious, the cognitive biases, emotional triggers, and cultural conditioning that keep us trapped in old patterns. For example, consider the phenomenon of confirmation bias, the tendency to seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs while ignoring evidence that contradicts them. This bias is not just a quirk of the conscious mind. It is deeply rooted in the subconscious, which seeks to maintain a sense of coherence and stability. Or take the role of emotional triggers, those moments when a seemingly innocuous event sends us into a spiral of anger, fear, or sadness. These triggers are often tied to subconscious memories of past hurts, unmet needs, or unresolved conflicts. They are the ghosts of our past, haunting our present and shaping our future. And then there is cultural conditioning, the subtle but pervasive influence of societal norms and values. From the moment we are born, we are bombarded with messages about who we should be, what we should want, and how we should live. These messages seep into our subconscious, shaping our beliefs and behaviors in ways we may not even realize. The philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre once said, We are our choices, but what if our choices are not as free as we think? What if they are shaped by forces we can't see, by the subconscious beliefs, fears, and desires that lurk beneath the surface? This is the challenge we must confront. To reclaim our reality, we must first understand the forces that shape it. We must shine a light on the hidden corners of our mind, confront the shadows that dwell there, and rewrite the scripts that no longer serve us. But this is not an easy task. It requires courage, curiosity, and a willingness to face the uncomfortable truths about ourselves. It requires us to question not just our own beliefs, but the very nature of reality itself. Are you ready to take that step? If the subconscious is the silent architect of our reality, then its consequences are the invisible walls that confine us. These walls are not made of brick or mortar. They are made of beliefs, fears, and assumptions, so deeply ingrained that we mistake them for reality itself. And yet, they shape every aspect of our lives, from the relationships we form to the dreams we pursue or abandon. Consider this. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract the same kind of toxic relationships, no matter how many times they swear to change? Or why others repeatedly sabotage their own success, even when they're on the brink of achieving their goals? These patterns are not random. They are the result of subconscious programming, hidden scripts that dictate our behavior without our conscious consent. Take the case of Sarah, a woman in her mid-30s who has been in and out of abusive relationships for most of her adult life. On the surface, Sarah is intelligent, kind, and self-aware. She knows what a healthy relationship looks like, and she genuinely wants to find one. But every time she meets someone new, she finds herself drawn to the same type of person, someone who is emotionally unavailable, controlling, or outright abusive. Sarah's friends tell her she has bad taste in men. But the truth is far more complex. Her choices are not the result of conscious preference. They are driven by subconscious beliefs. Beliefs that were formed in childhood, when she witnessed her father verbally abuse her mother. Over time, Sarah internalized the idea that love is synonymous with pain, and that her worth is tied to her ability to endure suffering. These beliefs, buried deep in her subconscious, shape her perceptions and choices, even when they contradict her conscious desires. This is the power of the subconscious. It creates a self-reinforcing cycle of behavior, where our actions confirm our beliefs, and our beliefs justify our actions. And because this cycle operates beneath the surface of our awareness, it is incredibly difficult to break. But the consequences of subconscious programming extend far beyond individual behavior. They shape the very fabric of society, influencing everything from cultural norms to political systems. Think about the way we consume information in the digital age. Social media algorithms are designed to feed us content that aligns with our existing beliefs, creating echo chambers that reinforce our biases and blind us to alternative perspectives. This is not just a technological phenomenon. It is a psychological one. Our subconscious minds, seeking coherence and validation, gravitate toward information that confirms what we already believe, while dismissing or ignoring anything that challenges it. The result is a society that is increasingly polarized, where people are more likely to see those who disagree with them as enemies rather than fellow human beings. This polarization is not just a product of external forces. It is rooted in the subconscious need for certainty and belonging, a need that drives us to cling to our beliefs, even in the face of overwhelming evidence to the contrary. And then there is the issue of addiction, not just to substances, but to behaviors. From compulsive shopping to binge watching, from social media scrolling to workaholism, modern society is rife with behaviors that provide temporary relief from emotional pain, but ultimately deepen our sense of emptiness and disconnection. Gabor Mate, a renowned expert on addiction, argues that these behaviors are not the result of moral failure or lack of willpower. They are attempts to cope with unresolved trauma and unmet emotional needs. The subconscious mind, in its quest for relief, drives us toward these behaviors, even when we know they are harmful. But perhaps the most insidious consequence of subconscious programming is the way it limits our potential. We all have dreams, visions of the person we could become, the life we could live, the impact we could make. But too often, these dreams remain just that, dreams. Why? Because the subconscious mind, shaped by fear and self-doubt, convinces us that we are not capable, not worthy, not enough. Think about the last time you had a big idea, a project you wanted to start, a goal you wanted to achieve. Did you pursue it with confidence and determination? Or did you hesitate, second-guess yourself, and eventually talk yourself out of it? If you chose the latter, you're not alone. Most of us have experienced the paralyzing grip of self-doubt, a grip that is often rooted in subconscious beliefs about our own limitations. These beliefs are not just personal, they are collective. They are passed down from generation to generation, reinforced by cultural narratives that glorify certain traits, like ambition and independence, while devaluing others, like vulnerability and compassion. Over time, these narratives become internalized, shaping our sense of what is possible and what is not. But here's the most unsettling part. We are often unaware of these limitations. We go through life believing that we are free to choose our own path, unaware of the invisible barriers that confine us. It's like being in a maze with walls we can't see. We keep bumping into them, but we don't know why. This is the unseen consequence of subconscious programming. It creates a prison of the mind, where we are both the prisoner and the jailer. We are trapped by beliefs we didn't choose, driven by fears we can't name, and limited by assumptions we don't even realize we have. But there is a way out. To break free from this prison, we must first become aware of its existence. We must shine a light on the hidden forces that shape our reality, confront the beliefs that no longer serve us, and rewrite the scripts that dictate our lives. This is not an easy task. It requires courage, curiosity, and a willingness to face the uncomfortable truths about ourselves. But the rewards are immense. The freedom to live authentically, the power to create the life we truly want, and the ability to shape our reality, rather than being shaped by it. Are you ready to take that step? Breaking free from the subconscious scripts that shape our reality is not a passive process. It is an act of rebellion, a deliberate, often uncomfortable confrontation with the hidden forces that have governed our lives. This rebellion begins with a single, radical realization: you are not your thoughts. The beliefs, fears, and assumptions that dictate your behavior are not inherent truths. They are learned patterns, and they can be unlearned. But how? How do we dismantle the invisible walls of the subconscious and reclaim control over our lives? The answer lies in a combination of self-awareness, intentional action, and a willingness to embrace discomfort. Step 1. Shine a light on the shadows. The first step in breaking free is to bring the subconscious into the light. This means becoming aware of the beliefs and patterns that drive your behavior. One powerful tool for this is shadow work, a concept introduced by Carl Jung. Shadow work involves exploring the parts of yourself that you've repressed or denied, the fears, insecurities, and desires that you've buried because they feel too painful or shameful to confront. To begin shadow work, start by observing your emotional triggers. What situations or interactions consistently provoke a strong emotional reaction in you? Anger, jealousy, fear, or shame are often clues to subconscious wounds. For example, if you feel a surge of anger every time someone criticizes you, it may point to a deep-seated fear of inadequacy. Journaling can be a powerful tool for this process. Write down your thoughts and feelings without judgment, allowing yourself to explore the roots of your emotions. Ask yourself, why does this bother me so much? What does it remind me of? Over time, patterns will emerge, revealing the subconscious beliefs that shape your reactions. Step 2. Challenge your beliefs. Once you've identified your subconscious beliefs, the next step is to challenge them. This is where the rebellion truly begins. Many of our beliefs are not based on objective truth. They are inherited from our upbringing, culture, or past experiences. For example, if you believe that you must always be perfect to be loved, ask yourself, is this really true? Where did this belief come from? One effective technique for challenging beliefs is cognitive restructuring, a concept from cognitive behavioral therapy. This involves replacing negative or limiting beliefs with more empowering ones. For instance, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," reframe it as, "I am worthy of love and success, just as I am." This process is not about denying your struggles or pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing that your beliefs are not facts. They are interpretations, and they can be reinterpreted. Step 3. Rewrite your scripts. Once you've identified and challenged your subconscious beliefs, the next step is to rewrite the scripts that govern your life. This is where intentional action comes into play. Start by setting small, achievable goals that align with your new beliefs. For example, if you've always believed that you're not creative, challenge yourself to take up a creative hobby, like painting or writing. The key here is consistency. The subconscious mind learns through repetition, so the more you act in alignment with your new beliefs, the more they will become ingrained. Over time, these new patterns will replace the old ones, reshaping your reality from the inside out. Step 4. Embrace discomfort. Breaking free from subconscious programming is not a comfortable process. It requires facing parts of yourself that you've spent a lifetime avoiding. It means sitting with uncomfortable emotions, questioning long-held beliefs, and taking risks that feel terrifying. But here's the paradox. The discomfort is a sign that you're on the right path. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens in the stretch zone, where you're pushed beyond your limits and forced to confront your fears. As Friedrich Nietzsche famously said, "You must have chaos within you to give birth to a dancing star." Step 5. Seek support. You don't have to do this alone. Breaking free from subconscious programming is a deeply personal journey, but it's also a collective one. Seek out mentors, therapists, or like-minded individuals who can support you on your path. Share your struggles and victories, and learn from the experiences of others. Community is especially important when it comes to challenging societal conditioning. The collective subconscious is a powerful force, and it can be difficult to resist its pull without the support of others who share your vision of freedom and authenticity. Step 6. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, without judgment. It is a powerful tool for breaking free from subconscious patterns because it allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions without getting caught up in them. When you practice mindfulness, you create a space between yourself and your thoughts. You begin to see that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. This realization is the first step toward reclaiming control over your mind and your life. Start with simple mindfulness exercises, like focusing on your breath or paying attention to the sensations in your body. Over time, you'll develop the ability to observe your thoughts and emotions without being controlled by them. Step 7. Take radical responsibility. Finally, breaking free from subconscious programming requires taking radical responsibility for your life. This means acknowledging that while you may not have control over everything that happens to you, you do have control over how you respond. Radical responsibility is not about blaming yourself for your struggles. It's about empowering yourself to create change. It's about recognizing that you are the author of your own story, and that you have the power to rewrite it. This is the essence of the rebellion. The realization that you are not a passive victim of your subconscious mind. You are an active participant in the creation of your reality. And with that realization comes the power to break free from the patterns that have held you back and step into the life you were meant to live. But this is just the beginning. The final step, the ultimate truth, awaits. The journey to understanding and reshaping your subconscious mind is not just about breaking free from old patterns. It's about discovering a profound truth, one that redefines how you see yourself and the world. This truth is both liberating and humbling. You are not separate from the universe. You are an expression of it. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions are not isolated events. They are part of a vast, interconnected web of existence. This realization is the culmination of all the work you've done. The shadow work, the belief challenging, the mindfulness, and the radical responsibility. It's the moment when the pieces of the puzzle finally come together, and you see the bigger picture. The illusion of separation. From the moment we are born, we are taught to see ourselves as separate entities, distinct from others, from nature, and from the universe itself. This sense of separation is reinforced by our culture, our language, and even our biology. We are told that we must compete, achieve, and accumulate in order to survive and thrive. But this is an illusion. The boundaries we perceive between ourselves and the world are not real. They are constructs of the mind. At the deepest level, we are all connected, not just to each other, but to everything that exists. This is not a mystical or abstract concept. It is a scientific one. Quantum physics has shown that at the subatomic level, everything is interconnected. What happens to one part of the system affects the whole. When you truly grasp this truth, it changes everything. You realize that your thoughts and actions are not just personal. They are part of a larger tapestry. The beliefs you hold, the emotions you feel, and the choices you make ripple out into the world, influencing the collective consciousness in ways you may never fully understand. The power of presence. One of the most profound implications of this realization is the importance of presence. When you understand that you are not separate from the universe, you begin to see that the present moment is all there is. The past is a memory. The future is a projection. The only reality is the here and now. This is why mindfulness is so powerful. When you are fully present, you are in alignment with the universe. You are no longer caught up in the stories of the past or the anxieties of the future. You are simply here, now, experiencing life as it unfolds. Presence is not just a state of mind. It is a state of being. It is the ultimate act of rebellion against the subconscious mind, which thrives on distraction and fragmentation. When you are present, you are free from the grip of old patterns and beliefs. You are fully alive, fully aware, and fully connected to the flow of existence. The paradox of control. Another profound realization is the paradox of control. On one hand, you have the power to shape your reality through your thoughts, emotions, and actions. On the other hand, you are part of a larger system that is beyond your control. This paradox can be difficult to grasp, but it is essential for true freedom. It means that while you can influence your reality, you cannot control it entirely. You must learn to dance with the uncertainty of life, embracing both your power and your limitations. This is where surrender comes in. Surrender is not about giving up. It's about letting go of the need to control everything. It's about trusting the process of life, even when you don't understand it. When you surrender, you open yourself to the flow of the universe, allowing it to guide you in ways that your conscious mind could never anticipate. The ultimate freedom, the ultimate truth is this: you are both the creator and the creation. You are the artist and the canvas, the dreamer and the dream. Your subconscious mind is not your enemy. It is a tool, a powerful, dynamic force that you can learn to harness. When you understand this, you realize that freedom is not about escaping your subconscious. It's about integrating it. It's about bringing the hidden parts of yourself into the light, embracing them, and using them to create a life of meaning and purpose. This is the ultimate freedom, the freedom to be fully yourself, in all your complexity and contradiction. It's the freedom to create your reality, not from a place of fear or lack, but from a place of love and connection. A call to action as you reflect on this journey: remember that the power to shape your reality lies within you. The subconscious mind is not a prison, it is a playground, a space of infinite potential where you can explore, create, and transform. But this power comes with a responsibility, the responsibility to use it wisely. Every thought, every emotion, every action is a ripple in the fabric of existence. What kind of ripples do you want to create? The choice is yours. You can continue to live on autopilot, driven by subconscious patterns and societal conditioning, or you can awaken to your true nature, embrace your power, and create a reality that reflects your deepest values and aspirations. The journey is not easy, but it is worth it. It is the journey of a lifetime, the journey of self-discovery, self-mastery, and self-transcendence. So take a deep breath, feel the weight of this truth in your bones, and then, with courage and curiosity, step into the unknown. The universe is waiting for you.